3 people already. Good grief. It still amazes me how people are here before I even press the button. But there we go. Very good evening, everybody. Hope you are well. Just get myself set up here. Just give us 2 ticks. There we go. And that way I can watch the comments down here as well. Oh, there we go. So hopefully everybody is there. There we go. 18 people already. Blimey. And 2 thumbs up. And I hadn't even said anything apart from hello and welcome. Can you hear me okay, everybody? Very good evening to you, Ian. I can see you are there. Fantastic. Everybody else is not there yet, so we'll just give them a moment. I can tell you, Ian, by the way, the Bubble and Squeak was superb. So there we go. Very good evening to you, Pete. Very good evening, Vince. Glad to see everybody coming on now. So 52 people already. Pardon, Dan. What have I said wrong now? Very good evening to you, Fergal. Hope it's nice and sunny where you are. Probably not. It's probably freezing cold as it is here as well. There we go. Look at that. Everybody's coming in now. Good evening to you, John. Hope you are well. Mike, wife. Very good evening to you. Hello. And very good evening to you, Gordon, I should say, not Graham. Shropshire lad, evening boss. There we go. Oh, look at that. Mini Trudge as well. Which is ironic because she's only in that room over there. So there we are. Evening, Dan. No gin. No gin, I'm afraid. No, we're on the coffee tonight. I'll tell you the truth, actually. I was nodding off on the sofa downstairs about 20 minutes ago. So, yeah, not great. So there we go. Right, everybody looks as if they're here and saying hello. Well, good evening, everybody. Greetings from Cornwall. Good evening, Nigel. I hope it's warmer there than it is here. It's pretty cold up here. We had a fairly fierce frost last night, actually, which was lovely because the sky was nice and clear all night last night. So perfect if you're out watching the stars, I suppose. So let's start up with last week and cover off what we actually did last week and give you an update as to what's happening. So last week we filmed the battery video, which remarkably I did in pretty much one take, and it didn't take long at all to make that whole video. It took me about 20 minutes to make it, which is why it's a bit rushed. And can you say hello to my lad Jamie, please? Yes, very good evening to you, Jamie. I hope you're all well. So that was what we filmed last week. Now, off the back of that video, some of the comments that immediately came in were, can you do a follow-up on multimeters? Can you show us exactly how to use a multimeter? And I'd already planned to do a multimeter video, but I thought, well, this is a great time now to follow on from that battery video and do one that focuses on using a multimeter and what you can use a multimeter for in and around the caravan. So we're going to be filming that on Wednesday. Angela and I are going to pop up to the van and film that Wednesday, and some other things which I'll tell you about as well. So that's this week's video. That's what's going to be coming out Friday, all about multimeters, how to use them around the caravan, and some of the great things that you can do if you have got a problem. So last week we also were clearing out the caravan even more, taking more bits and bobs out, because as you were told last week, we had a leak in it, well, not a leak, some damp in the front of the caravan. And when we went up to the caravan last week, we found quite a lot of water in the back of the caravan. And through further investigation, it looks like we've got a very leaky TV antenna spindle. We've got one of the Vision Plus aerials, and water was running down the inside of that tube. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be replacing that this week. So you guess what, there might be a video on that as well coming up on how to replace the gubbins and the seals, etc. And hopefully that will cure that problem. So look out for that one coming as well. Chloe is doing well. Do you want to come on in, Chloe? She's only in the bedroom next door, so it's lovely actually. She's doing well, although last week you had a little bit of pain in your arm, didn't you, sweetheart?
Yeah, and I stayed off school for a while.
Come on, come over this side. There we go. So here she is. You can still see we've still got the cast. Unfortunately, her date for having the cast taken off has been pushed back a couple of weeks. So it's no longer the beginning of December. It's now, what, the 15th?
15th.
The 15th of of December now, but at least it'll be off by Christmas anyway. Are you getting fed up with it now?
I am. It's like a really heavy rock.
Yeah? Oh, bless you. But you're doing all right, aren't you?
Yeah.
She had a day off of school last week because it was really hurting her. It was really, really painful. So we made her relax a little bit last week and chill for a while, didn't we?
Yeah, and then we had to go to the hospital because my teacher thought it was all weird.
Yeah, but it's not. It's fine.
Yes.
The severity of the break means that she will suffer from discomfort. So there we go. All right?
Yeah.
Excellent. You're going to go get yourself ready for bed then?
I am ready for bed.
Good girl. All right. See you in a minute.
Okay.
Now, the other thing as well last week is I got told off a bit last week because apparently the Monday Night Live went on a bit too long. So I will try and keep them shorter. So, yeah, there we go. One of the things I was writing last week, actually, I was writing an article for Bailey of Bristol, and that will be up on the Bailey website over the next couple of weeks. And I was writing it out, and it was all about, well, you'll find out what the article is if you go onto the Bailey website. But one of the points on the article was advice, and where do people go to for advice? And I thought to myself, well, that's fairly easy, isn't it? You just talk to other people on campsite, you Google things, you come onto YouTube, for instance, you go to magazines. But what if you... Hello, down the road in Broadtown, hello. What if you are completely new to it? What if you've never been out in your caravan? Where would you go for advice? So this is some viewer participation going on here. Where would you recommend and where would you suggest that people go for advice? You see, I saw that Kasoa were asking exactly the same question. Where's the best place for advice? And I thought of a couple of areas which I think are pretty good for advice. First of all, Twitter. That's where I started from. I asked a lot of questions on Twitter. My good friends Rich and Trev, Ian, Andrew, they're all there on Twitter and they're all very helpful. David Bell as well, he was very, very helpful. So that's where you would go for advice. YouTube, well, now there's quite a big community, isn't there, for advice. Obviously, we try our bit as well. But there's other channels and there's other, bits and bobs. But then there is a nut market that, people I wasn't aware of when I first started. But it's actually quite a big bubble, and that is Facebook groups. So I've had a look at some of the Facebook groups, and there's three in fact, which I'm going to put in the links in a minute. There's three groups that I'm going to put in the link in a minute. But basically I thought, well, they're great because you can ask questions and get immediate answers. Now, some of the answers that you get back are a little bit suspect, to be honest with you, because they're opinions, not facts. But they are good for sounding out, have you got this? Have you ever tried that? I don't know what I'm doing. And people generally are very, very helpful and they give you great advice. So I thought what I would do is, on my spot here now, I'll just copy some links over and put them into the chat window. And if you're not members of these groups, there we go. That worked really well, didn't it? If you're members of these groups, great. If you're not, then, go and try and join them. And the first group is Caravanners Are Us. It's a fairly big site, group, so I say. It's got about 60,000 plus members to it. The second one is Caravanners UK, slightly smaller, but along the same sort of thing, big group, etc. And then the third one, which is smaller again, is CT UK, which is Caravanners Talk UK. They're pretty big, and again, they're very helpful, and it's full of members who are passionate and happy to share information. So yeah, they're pretty good groups. And then obviously away from social media, there's other areas which you can go to, such as the magazines. And as you can probably see behind me, there's Practical Caravan. That's an excellent magazine. The Caravan magazine as well. That's a great one. The page doesn't work, Dan. Thanks, Oliver. I'll try that again then. Maybe I should be doing one link at a time. What do you reckon? There's one. Let's do the other one a bit. Bear with. There's two. James Crowder, he's just in the messages there. James Crowder is one of the admins to CT UK. Helpful guys over there, so pop over and have a look at them. Page not working. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll put those links in the description of this video after this video is finished. Oh, works now, cheers. Okay, good. So yeah, go and have a look at that. Motorhome Madness. Oh, hi, Matt. Hi, Gemma. Walter Wardens are saying Motorhome Madness on Facebook is great for motorhomers, and it's been very informative. Now, see, Matt and Gemma have just bought a motorhome, and they're probably in the same position that a lot of caravanners are in. They haven't really got all the information that they need, so it's worthwhile having a look to see. Matt, could you put a link up to that, and we can approve the link in the links there. So if you've got a motorhome, that might be a good one to go and have a look at as well. But of course, when you do something new, like get into a motorhome or a caravan, you haven't got all the answers, and these groups are invaluable, etc. I was at Cirencester when Chloe broke her arm. Well, good evening to you. Were you one of the helpful chaps that stood there and laughed at her, or were you the persons that got her back into the awning? Yeah, it was pretty horrendous, wasn't it? I'm sure you heard the screams, didn't you? There we go. So yeah, Matt and Gemma, they just bear with. They're just putting the links up in the description, so hopefully they will be as helpful for you as well if you've got a motorhome. Just put a yes or no if you've got a motorhome in this chat, because I primarily focus at caravanners, but I would be interested to know if any of you guys actually own a motorhome. So just a yes or a no would be brilliant. Motorhome Fun is very, very helpful forum. That's great to know. Thanks, John. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've opened up eyes to caravanning, and now I've bought a Luna and love it. Thank you very much for your input. Brilliant. That's excellent. I hope you have lots of adventures. There's lots of no's here. I know that Gordon's got a motorhome, and in fact, if you go to a Shropshire Lad's YouTube channel, Gordon's got a great channel there. And I watched one of his videos when he was at Bracelands, which is where we were a few weeks before he went there, and it was fantastic. No brand new caravan. Evening, Daniel. Evening. Only my mum calls me Daniel when I'm in trouble, you know. Karen, yes, thank you. Yes, no, but 3 caravans. How can you tow 3 caravans? There we go. No, Matt, it hasn't worked. What we'll do is we'll put a link to... I'll get Matt to Facebook me a private message, the link to that forum, and I'll make sure I put that in the description as well. Don't need anyone else for information when we've got you, Dan. Well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Put a link in for Shropshire Lad Dan. Oh, blimey. Now you're asking me to do things on the hop. I'll tell you what I will do. I'll ask Ian, my wingman, Caravan Gossip, to go and find a Shropshire Lad and put that in there for us. Of course, that'll be asking him to do something, and he's a little bit tired today. Have you ever thought about making a special for foreigners waiting to go caravanning in the UK? No, I haven't. That's a brand new one on me, to be honest with you. It's your fault we bought a caravan. Sorry. Very good evening to you, Alice. Hope you are well. There we go. That's lovely. So I'm on a tight timeline tonight. I've got to make sure I get it within half an hour, everything tonight. The other thing about advice as well of where to go would be the national clubs. They're great. You know, the Caravan Club was the first one I joined, in fact. Thank you, Matt. And I got a lot of information from there. So if you're a member of the clubs, even if you're not a member, I think you can access certain parts of the forums, etc. So they're a good place to go. They're a good place to go for information as well. And I see that Lynn and Rich are here as well. Very good evening to you. I'm going to turn my phone off now because that's going to be going nuts. And there we go. There's the link. Thank you very much, Ian. Bless him. He's earning his cash tonight, isn't he? Bless him. So yeah, so any other suggestions then for where to go for advice? And what would you suggest a complete newcomer, where would they go? Put your links into the... put your thoughts and your ideas into the description, into the live chat, I should say, sorry. And we'll have a go. And that's a good point, actually. Karen's just raised that she's got a phobia of towing, and I suppose that's probably the reason why a lot of people go for motorhomes, because they're not keen for towing or have never done it, so, etc. And here we go. Ian's now on the case of doing links for all the groups, etc. Bless him. Oh, there we go. Yes, Practical Caravan on YouTube. Very good channel. There may be a couple of videos on there that I've produced, and there may be more coming soon. Who knows? word of mouth for advice, great idea, Tricia. It's funny actually, when we went to site, and you tend to look around how everybody else does things, certainly for filling up their water, the water containers, for instance. I had a tube that I thought was going to be brilliant, terrible, and that's how you learn that you use other things, isn't it? You just watch other people and, and it comes to it. Ask at dealers, great idea. Yeah, I did ask a lot of... I did ask a lot of questions at the dealer as well, and actually went back to the dealers after we bought the Caravan to get an understanding as to, how this works, how that works, what's expected of this, so it's general questions. And a wise man once said to me many years ago, the only stupid question is the question you don't ask at all. So, you know what, just ask. Nobody thinks anything less of you, and just ask people, how does this work? What's that for? There we go. Question for you. Filmmakers on YouTube, who is your inspiration? Ben Brown. I think my favourite vlogger, I think he is the one. Obviously Casey, but I was into Ben way before Casey, and I was into Casey way back when he did the falling off bike thing. I've been following him for a long time, and much of my close friends will know how much I've been banging on about him for the past 6-7 years, because I thought he was very, very clever in what he did. Watching live for the very first time, usually watching the recording. What will I do during my lunch break tomorrow after watching back a catalogue? Well, you could watch this one again if you want, then you can tell your friends what's about to happen. Same, you've got a lot to answer for. Sorry, I seem to be bankrupting a lot of people as well, because I keep suggesting products and everybody goes and buys them. So sorry about that. Evening, Lynn, Even Rich. Yeah, you can watch them as well. Lynn and Rich, as I said last week, have got a great channel, and they've just started with a seasonal pitch. So they're doing things slightly differently to people who tour. So they're a good channel to go and watch as well. People who go rallying are seasoned caravanners. Good for good, full of good advice. Yes, I think that's true actually, because they're used to towing in not so favourable conditions, not so favourable locations. Have got quick setup tips, etc. So yes, I think ralliers are a seasoned bunch. The best thing you suggested was the Lock and Level. Great products, aren't they? Really good. Lock and Levels are fantastic. Say hello to my wife Katrina. Hello, my wife Katrina. I hope you are well. Evening, John. Hope you are well. He's got a smiley face there as well. How do I start my own vlogs? Thanks from Sam. Get your phone, pick it up, start recording something, and make it exciting, and make it something that you want to watch yourself. That would be my best tip. And if you're scared, do it anyway. Just pick it up and just get on and just do it. Have I missed out? Had to go for a beer. I hope it was a pint of mild. Hi Dan, good to catch you live. Very good evening to you, Richard. I hope you are well. Even better for twin axle with even better for my twin axle with my Alco wheel locks. I know what you meant there, Oliver. Yes, Lock and Level, fantastic for twin axles. I do have a twin axle Lock and Level in with all my other bits and bobs, and I am going to do using a Lock and Level on a twin axle, how easy it is and how you can get your Alco wheel locks lined up. So that is in the bag, and I will be doing that one at some point. Could you wish my husband Ian a happy anniversary? Zoe, certainly I can. It is Zoe and Ian's 13th, is that right? Is it 13th? 13th wedding anniversary. And if you don't know who Ian and Zoe are, it's Caravan Gossip, aka Transit Driver on Twitter. So everybody wish Ian and Zoe a happy anniversary. And yes, very nice people they are too. Peter writes, Dan, hire a field next year with all newcomers to caravanning and learn lots of tips and tricks. Don't forget the inflatable beer tent. All you'll learn from me when in a field is how much I can drink or not drink, as the case may be. Yeah, there we go. If you had a spare 60 grand, would you buy a motorhome? No. I'd buy another Caravan and another tow car, I think. And I probably wouldn't be able to do it for 60,000, to be honest with you. No, I wouldn't buy a motorhome. For us, it just doesn't work at the moment. If it was just Angela and myself, yeah, probably. I probably would. But that would have to be a really good one for when we go into Europe, etc. But for us as a family and for what we do and how we like to holiday, a caravan just makes perfect sense. Evening Dan, we found you after buying our first wobble box this summer, and your videos and advice have been really helpful. Thank you. Planning a UK tour next year, and we'll be trying to vlog our trips. Good job. I hope that goes well for you. Yeah, it'd be great to see some people doing some tours next year, which, yeah, I'm not going to say anything about. Next year might be a busy year for us, by the way. We might be doing a lot. I'm not going to say any more than that. Okay, so that's all the advice bits and bobs, and we've done some questions there. Just want to give you a quick update with the merch. Last year I held up some bits of paper with ideas, etc., and ideas on stuff that we might want to do and selling or what have you. Well, after reading some of the comments and some of the feedback from last week, sorry, I took on board some of the comments, and we've created some products. Now, nothing is finalised yet. In fact, having a discussion today with the people that are going to do all the printing for me, having a discussion with them today, it's going to change again. But one thing is for sure is that there are some stickers on the way. And let me just write into here a hidden link that people who watch this afterwards, they won't know this link, you see. So for all you people that are here live, you'll get this. There we go. People who don't watch this, they won't see that link. So only you guys who are here tonight, the 126 of you, only you guys will see those. Now, I've made some products, and they're not finished, they're not finalised, but the stickers are coming, and they'll be here in the next couple of days, I hope. It's a bit of a big step forward because there is a high possibility I could end up with 300 mugs sat here doing nothing because people don't like them. But we've gone for three. We've gone for three styles of mugs. First of all, there's one with our own logo on it, which is the same as our sticker, which you'll see if you go to that hidden link. By the way, it's /shop at our website. So you could go and have a look at that. The second one is my other drink is a gin, which looks very familiar to another logo you may see on the high street, which I thought was hilarious. And everybody I've shown it to so far thinks it's fantastic. The third one is the checklist. Now, the reason I haven't got the checklist finished yet is because I want to make sure it's absolutely spot on. And after I did the calling out last week of, this is the merchandise that we're going to think about doing, one of my subscribers, and somebody who does interact with me quite a lot, Andy, he approached me and he said, I didn't want to say anything live, but we run a company that deals with we run a company that does printing and engraving and all sorts, and they've been absolutely bloody brilliant because they're into caravanning themselves. They know what sells, they know what works, etc. People are saying server error. Does that mean that I've asked you all to go and have a look at it? I don't know. Let's just go and have a look, see, make sure it's running. So yeah, it's they've been really helpful helping me make sure that it's all working correctly. And the products that I've got planned, etc. So they've been great. Their company is called Add Value Marketing. This is one of the mouse mats which they've got there. Site's working, by the way. I've just clicked on it and it's fine. It might be a bit busy though, so keep trying. Add Value Marketing, the Caravanners, they know their stuff. I had a really good chat today with Maxine, who gave me some really good advice, and so there's going to be some changes. So what you see on that shop is not the final lineup, and it's not going to be the final products. They're going to be along those lines. So I hope that works well for you. Now you can't buy anything because I haven't got anything, but if you want to order Oh, it wasn't Andy, it was me. Sorry, Steve. How rude. Yeah, it was Steve. Sorry. I don't know why I called you Andy. Why did I call you Andy? There we go. So basically, what we've got some stickers turning up. So if you want to pre-order them, you can. They're only going to be £2.50 plus P&P. That's how much I think they'll charge them for. There might be a full refund if I pick them up and I think they're absolutely terrible. So, you know, there we go. But Add Value Marketing, absolutely superb. Highly recommend them. Maxine and Steve have been really helpful, and they've been great. So fantastic. So that's that. Now, I was going to be talking about planning trips, but I think that's quite a big topic, and I don't think I can squeeze that one in tonight. I wanted to talk with you guys about how you and how we plan our trips for next year, because, you know, let's face it, we all say we do winter time caravanning, but, you know, it's dark outside, it's pretty horrible. You don't fancy doing much, do you? So, you know, it's what do you do in terms of planning your trip and getting your enthusiasm up for the warmer weather. So I wanted to talk to you about that, but I think what I'll do is I'll leave that one to the next episode, because that's quite a big topic, isn't it? So if you've got any questions about how to plan your trips, or what you do to plan your trips, any advice, put them in the comments of this video here when it's finished. And I think what we'll do is we'll have a lot of resource, then we can actually go through how people plan, etc., for their trips ahead. I know that next year is going to be slightly different for us, because Ian and Zoe, who it's their 13th wedding anniversary, and us, we're doing something next year, and we had to really plan that quite a lot, and we still have got to plan that quite a lot. So it's slightly differently, but the previous years, you know, I was just going to go through how we've actually decided where we're going to go. And I think that actually Richard and Trev, who do the legs down thing, their input would be very good as well. So I'm going to ask Rich and Trev to add some comments to this, because their input would be valuable, because they're always out and about, you know, touring different places. So I think that's the, yeah, go tomorrow if we could. There we go, there's Rich. So I think that's the topic for next week. So let's see if we can answer some more questions. Let's scrolly backy up. Server error, probably crashed it. Yeah, sorry about that. Still people. Let me know if the site's still working okay. That'd be good. There we go. Will do. Did you get the idea for the mug glass? See you travel on Saturday. On Saturday, I don't understand that. Sorry. Just subscribe to Seaside Housewife. Great name. Yeah, Alice is a great channel, actually. Very nice channel there. Lots of great content. How do we get a sticker? Gary, go to our website, www.the-trudgeons.com/shop, but don't tell everybody else, because it's a secret link. And put down there. It's a pre-order at the moment, but there we go. How about a rally for your subscribers? Oh, do you know what? I do want to do that. The more I've thought about it, the more I thought yes. But the fear is, and I don't know how many of you can relate to this, how many of you have ever tried to hold a party and you've put a lot of effort and time into it, and you invite everybody and everybody says they're all going to come, and then at the last minute you get lots of letdowns and lots of people don't turn up? That's generally my success rate with organising parties, etc. Yeah, so I want to, but the fear of putting a lot of effort into it for not many people turning up and, you know, what have you. Yeah. But I do want to do it. I think I want to do it. I'm going to try and persuade Mrs. T that maybe that's something we can do next year. American supper. Well, there we go. Hi Craig, hi Dan, Craig from New Zealand here. How's things? It's 9:30 AM here. Well, hello Craig. It's not 9:30, it's 8:30 here, but yesterday for you, isn't it? Is that right? Or is it tomorrow? No, you're tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. So you're in the future, aren't you? So if I travel 88 miles an hour towards you, I can probably get there after you. Oh, sharp. Is there a field big enough? Well, I don't know what you're saying there, Lynn and Rich, whether that's down to me or the number of people that that we go. lot of work, Dan, and the venue is a big thing. Yeah, I get that. It would have to be something in the middle, wouldn't it? It'd have to be in the centre of the UK, fairly accessible to everybody, a rally field, etc. And obviously a good local gin distillery, I suppose. That's the only prerequisite, isn't it? Just starting to arrive in Hanover, tuned straight in. Very good evening to you, Rob. Hope you are well. How's your daughter Arm doing? Hi, Alan. You're a bit late to the party. We've had a walk in and a walk out from Chloe. She's doing well, thank you. She will be on the mend, hopefully, for when a cast comes off. Great idea, a rally. Yeah, see, everybody else isn't convinced. It's only me that thinks that this is a good idea, by the way. You could just set a date and a site, and those who want to come, book, just go from there. Yeah, I think that's probably it, isn't it? That's probably what we'd end up doing. Just say, book here, use this reference to get a discount if there is a discount, and turn up if you're there. If you don't, you don't. Rich is in another room saying things are different to me. I can imagine Rich is shouting across the house to you. Somewhere near a gin distillery would be great. You know, Bombay Sapphire, they're down just outside of Newbury, and there's a couple of CL sites down there. There's a biggish site, sort of New Foresty area as well, isn't there? That one might be quite good. See, everybody's saying it's my fault that they're ordering things. You can't blame me for ordering an Adria, Julian, because I'd never covered Adria. That's Andrew Ditton, so blame him on Adria's. Yeah, you and the Ditton. Yeah, it's his fault. It's good to hear you. Thanks, Dan, and great tips on camping. Great. Really glad to hear that it's going well over there in New Zealand as well, Craig. That's fantastic to know. I went on a camping weekend with a YouTube over 100 bikes in total. Blimey, I bet that was fun. Yes, what Shropshire Lad said. Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? If I was to say this is the weekend or this is the few days, go and visit, and and we'll be there as well. Nice up Yorkshire, some beers too. That's true, actually. And remember us in Scotland for the rally. Absolutely, Tricia. We'll have to charter a plane or something to get you guys down from Scotland, I suppose, or even do another one. A rally south and rally north, maybe. I don't know. We'd be there. Know a place that may work near a gin distillery and a small steam rally. Yep, that'll do. Steam railways, lovely. Banks of Loch Ness, that'd be good. So yeah, maybe there is legs in this. I do have to convince Mrs. T though. She's definitely not up for this. Multiple rallies, definitely go. Yeah. Also, Ian and Zoe, I think they wouldn't be very much into this either. So there we go. I think Andrew could run the Scottish version. See, I think I think that would be good actually. Come up and see us in Staffordshire. Definitely, Gordon. I'd love to come up and see you in Staffordshire. Let's just see what else. What's your all-time favourite site? All-time favourite site? Oh, that's a good question. Blimey. Me, personally, I think it's Bracelands. It's the Camping and Caravanning Club, Bracelands. It's the Camping in the Forest, actually, sorry. In the New Forest. Of the Forest of Dean, sorry. I think for me it's that one. Simply because it evokes a lot of memories from me as a child, because we used to go caravanning there. And Woodlands when that was up the road, and Christchurch when that was a camping one that was further up the road again. The whole area is very evocative for me. But also when it's busy, and when it does get really, really busy, it has this wonderful atmosphere. It's busy, but it's got this great atmosphere, and people are barbecuing, children are playing, until very late at night, and it's just great. And I think that's my favourite site, to be honest with you. Hi Lance, evening. I've just run some pink. Let's just get that comment again. I've lost it now. I've just run some pink RV antifreeze through my trailer's water pipes and covered it for the winter layup. Yeah, it's great actually. Lance runs a channel in the States, and he does things completely differently to how we do here in the UK, because obviously he's got a different system, different setup. He's got a complete RV. We obviously don't. So it's very interesting to converse with Lance about how he does things slightly differently. Used to go there with the Duke of Edinburgh stuff, and it's great memories. Yeah, I think Gordon, we're of the similar age actually, and I think we must have been there at the same sort of time. Yeah, we never go. Lady Margaret's in church. Yeah. Back to the gin. What's your favourite at the moment? At the moment, Harris gin. At the moment, Mr. Ditton bought a bottle back for me from the Isle of Harris, and at the moment, that's my favourite. It's incredible. It's got sea kelp in it. Unbelievable. That's my favourite one at the moment. Could you welcome my wife, Jane Ratcliffe, to Caravanning? It's taken me years to convince her, and now she loves it. Well, welcome to the madness there, Jane, and I hope it's going well for you, and I hope you are enjoying your adventures. Brockman's is lovely. Yep, that's a good site as well. Back to the gin. Sounds well. It does sound a bit. Yeah, trust me. I'll make sure I leave some for when I see you. You can have a wee dram. Try Nelson's, it's excellent. Yep. Do you know what? I'm inundated with how many people suggest different gins. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's fantastic. That's it for the rally then. Just need a date. Yeah, well, okay, thank you. Yes, there we go. Right, guys, it is now 25 to 9. I've got to go and take Angela to work in 25 minutes, and she's been very patient with me waiting around the corner. So I think we'll call this one a night for now. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope I've covered off some topics for you of interest tonight. I'll do another one of these next week. Are you liking these Facebook lives? YouTube lives even? Are they going well for you, these Monday night lives? If they are, then I think we'll carry on. If not, we'll pack them in then, won't we? But there we go. All right, guys, thanks ever so much. I'll see you next week. Ta-ra!